My name is Dr. Rebecca Younk, and I'm a doctor of audiology and the owner of the Beltone Eau Claire location.
We're talking today about really dementia, I guess. And explain to me how we found out that 32% of
30,
dementia is or can be attributed to hearing loss. Is that right?
correct, yes. So we've known since the 90s that there was a higher incident of dementia with individuals that had hearing loss. And so we've had several studies come out, and most recently in April of this year, that essentially link about 32% of, or a third of dementia cases with hearing loss. So individuals with hearing loss are much more likely to develop dementia.
So why? Do we know why?
There's not a solid reason as to why. They're still investigating the why of it. There are several theories. The first theory is when you have hearing loss, you're much more likely to be socially isolated and to not be as active as individuals without hearing loss or without treated hearing loss. So there's some, if you know about dementia, isolation, mental health, that can also be attributed to an increase of dementia. So, believing like some social things that happen, such as social isolation and other um, depression, anxiety, can create more likelihood of dementia. That's one theory. The other theory is that the pathways in the brain that can cause dementia can also impact hearing. So that, just looking at the structure of the brain and the pathways in the brain, that's another theory that they have.
So, and forgive me if I'm asking you questions that is above your specialty or below, I should say.
No, 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 that's fine. Yes.
Recently, they found out that there's a blood test that might show genetic markers for dementia. Are we saying that these dementia sufferers, a third of them, developed dementia, or would they maybe have been found early as well?
So dementia is, how can I say this? Compilation of changes in cognition, memory, uh, how your brain works, and there are a lot of causes to dementia. So there's always the genetic predisposition to dementia that is outside the environmental factors. So you can have genetic predisposition to dementia where genetically you're more likely to develop dementia than somebody without genetic this genetic makeup. And then you have environmental factors that can cause cognitive decline or dementia. And hearing loss is more of an environmental factor that we can control for.
So, what's your suggestion as to how to combat that?
Yes, exactly. How can we can't right now, unfortunately, change our genes, but we can change our environment.
So, how do we get a hold of you if we have some questions?
You can email me at rebecca.younk@associated-hearing.com, or you can call me on my cell phone at 612-868-3461.
What are some of the early markers as far as that hearing loss goes? Because if we can catch it early, maybe we'll fight that dementia later.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think prevention is the first thing I like to talk about before we even get to hearing loss. So I talk about this as young as high school students, elementary school students, where if you are going hunting with your grandpa or your dad or your mom, making sure that those little kids have hearing protection as well as the adults. Or if you're going out to oh goodness, like those big truck places. I'm trying to
Sure,
think
like
of
a tractor pull?
like a monster truck
Yeah.
pool, anything like that, car races, a Vikings game, a Taylor Swift concert, any of those, making sure you're wearing your hearing protection because we know noise is much more likely to cause hearing loss. And then, of course, as we age as well, we are much more likely to develop hearing loss. So making sure that you maintain your health. We know hearing loss is much more associated with individuals that have diabetes, cardiovascular disorder, high blood pressure, etc. So maintaining a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle also helps to combat developing hearing loss at a later in life. And then once we talk about conservation, then we talk about treatment. And so I recommend this as soon as you feel like maybe you're not hearing the television as well, not hearing in background as no, as well, not hearing your loved ones as well, asking them to repeat when they walk to another room, getting a baseline hearing test. We do those baseline hearing tests in Eau Claire. Those are free screenings. Going in and getting education about hearing conservation and communication tips if you do have a hearing loss. Doing that as soon as you notice it. Most people, I say, start at 50. I actually have a little bit of hearing loss starting at 40, so it can happen to any of us at any time. And then you know, when you come in and you talk to a provider, a hearing healthcare professional about hearing loss, they can talk about ways to help communication strategies because hearing loss causes breakdown, especially in background noise, and not just hearing aids. That's not the only thing that you'll often need. You'll also need to make sure that you know how to reduce background, where to position yourself if you are wearing hearing aids. There are devices like TV streamers and phone links that can help you connect your hearing aids to communication as well.
And I'm guessing all of those things you could help out, or a bell to an office somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have Oki. Alan is in our Eau Claire office. He's been doing this for 65 years now. He is fantastic. Love him. And then we also have Dave Ryman. He's our hearing instrument specialist, has been doing it for 25 years. So both of those gentlemen are hands down going to be able to give you a lot of options and help people hear better.
So it sounds like crossword puzzles, keeping your mind active, and then protecting your hearing would be the third
Yes.
triumvirate.
Yeah. I think an ounce of prevention is worth the pound of cure any day.
Dr. Young, thank you so much.
Of course.